Willkommen bei der neuen Folge Build with Jobi. Hier geht es darum, dass wir von einer Idee starten und so schnell wie möglich einen Prototyp bauen. Ich Vibe-code das Ganze und streame es auf Twitch. Deshalb bring dich ein und wir bauen das Ganze gemeinsam. Folgen mir auf YouTube, folgen mir auf Twitch, um das nicht zu verbeißen. Und nun viel Spaß mit dem Video.
Hi. I thought about a funny project that's cool tree that you're here. So I thought about a force writing tool. That means there will be a timer, for example, 1 minute, and you need constantly to write for that minute. Otherwise, you will lose your text. And I heard once that there is this like stream of conscious thingy, like that when you're writing, when you're forced to constantly write, and then you won't get into a blockade and also will be more creative and stuff. And so I wanted to start with that one and then we see where it leads to. So the whole concept about this Twitch stream and in generally is I'm starting with an idea. Yeah, exactly. Forcing the flow state. And yeah, generally my idea with this Twitch stream is just start with an idea, start with something, and then we will get more into detail and get more features running. Kind of like a video game, exactly, where you can pause. Yeah. So can we draw somewhere? Draw tool. Yeah, something like that probably. Yeah, perfect. I thought to do it following. So let's say this is your thingy that here will be the timer or something like that. Let's call it T or some information, don't know. And like in a chat window, here you write your text. Chat or like, yeah, text. And if you achieved it, you will have it here. And so, don't know, if you're writing, for example, a novel, which won't happen with such a thing, then you can see what you wrote, and so you kind of this conscious, or like your text stream gets more down and flown down. Yeah, I imagine this can also streak. Okay, normally, I don't know how you're doing it, but normally I just write to ChatGPT or to Claude what it is about and that it should generate me a tech stack and stuff, which quite helps to generate a lot of code. So I would start and say, I want to do it as a web app, to build a web app. If you have any suggestion how to improve it, feel free to write it in the chat. The web app, and you need to help me with the tech stack etc. The tool force you to write for a certain time. Okay, a minute. That you if you a little too long during this time, your text is gone. To keep the flow and have been clear writing text, be locked, new, be saved. I want saved. Few method yet. I don't have a specific method yet. I've tried many ways, but this is definitely one of them. I usually tell Claude that I want to build out of Next.js, to be honest, on Workland UI library, because I know how to get a running quick and don't have to waste much. Yeah, I did it too, but the thing is also, I feel with vibe coding, I'm always losing the path and don't know what the AI really did. So I don't even give it a specific tech stack anymore. Although in my experience, it always shifts to a Next.js Tailwind library, which I think is like what has been trained on or is probably one of the most used. Okay, then let's write it on. If you manage to keep the flow, you have constantly writing, text will be saved. You can see all the text one by one. You can see all the text history above the chat window. Is there more to say? Let's see what will come there. Give me a specific prompt that can give to generate me this web app. Yeah, it seemed like Next.js can do just about anything, and it's made by Vercel, so I paid like $20 a month and can host a bunch of apps. Just that look in, and when I put it to GitHub version automatically with. Okay, interesting. I've not heard about it. Secure, faster, more personalized app. Nice. What have you built? The real plan too. Nice. We'll check it out. Otherwise, what have you built in the past? Okay. But I wanna have okay, then let's put it in. Let's see what will happen. I started off making a few little apps for fun, nothing super interesting, but for the last couple of weeks I just made a Notion and have been collecting ideas instead of building. Everything is improving so quickly. I feel like that too. Within the next few months there will be a couple of proven methods to product that I can just go down my list and build one app after another with no trouble. I'm thinking completely the same thing. And I don't know what's your experience, but in all my last projects, in the end, it was not about actually doing it, but actually bringing it to people and marketing and people enjoying it and using it. So I thought, with this project, like streaming it on Twitch and deploying stuff fastly, it would be much more fun. To try out different ideas and iterate this much more. But yeah, it's crazy what's happening at the moment, and also like the last 2 years with large language models. Such a fascinating time. Once I get into authentication database and all that stuff, I start to take so much time. I don't feel like I'm vibe coding anymore, lol, but I see much more and more progress come. Yeah, that's true. I'm normally deploying this stuff as an Amplify app when I'm doing an web app, and there is the same thing. Like it takes me 4, 5, 6 hours normally to deploy an app because there are so many errors once you're out of the cursor or another IDE. And I also don't like Lovable, for example, because then you're in this whole Lovable ecosystem and they kind of lock you in to that one. By the way, are you using cursor rules? This one. Cursor setting. I put this in and it's a game changer. I'm a little bit afraid that this will take so long. Last week I also started with a little bit a bigger project, and it for an hour it was generating code constantly, and then it kind of nearly worked one shot, which was crazy, but now we're finished. But still, sometimes it's crazy how long it takes. And I want to have this down here. I expect eventually we will have some sort of hybrid AI CMS like WordPress that you can just easily throw code on top of without opening yourself to secure nightmare. Just the rules are so important there. If you guys out there will be robust project specific guidelines, and I think anyone who is seriously trying to use this stuff for production needs to make that a priority. I feel like all of my dev friends who use AI now don't understand how much. Absolutely. But the thing is also, I think now every dev is using AI in one way or the other. Otherwise, I cannot believe that they won't use it. And for example, in Cursor, when you use the chat, like it used to be the chat, I also feel it really helps you because you're just talking to one thing and like to one code file, and still can understand what the AI actually suggests you. But I'm still unsure if like this whole agent thing will eventually go into production, or just will be a fast iteration, fast prototyping tool. But I see what you mean. And also, yeah, my big question is, what will be the scope, not the scope, but how far can you go with such a system? There I'm still unsure. Did it help? No. Then we start again. I've used Cursor and Windsurf, but I still feel like a highly tuned VS Code plus Rookline agents will turn rules will be most efficient. I don't really want to be a dev though. I want to vibe and handle it all. Yeah, I get you. I've not used VS Code because I never really went that route. I used to like JetBean stuff. Yeah, but I mean, in the end, what has happened? Okay. Still an error. Do you know if you can put it into every IDE or just VS? What I wanted to say before is, yeah, I think this like product skill game will be much more relevant, and that's also like I always find it fascinating that so many devs are just like production machines. So you really need to clearly say them, I want to have this, this, and this, and there is not much of lean or entrepreneurial skill happening to iterate with a customer or iterate with a problem. Nice. We are here. But can we? Oh, we cannot write. Okay, let's try this. Now it should stop. Doesn't stop. Okay. Okay, but I want that the timer stops then as well. The new one. So good chat, make sure to post an update in Discord so I can check out what ended up. Nice, but it was really great to have you here, Tree. We'll put it in, or like, and see you next time.